Hey, welcome to the future, folks. We call it CBS Sports HQ. I'm Chris Hassel. He's Dallin Cuff.
Never hyperbolic. I like that here on
Never.
CBS Sports HQ. 24/7 highlights, news, information. Of course, we'll have a lot of fun along the way.
Of course.
Stream it online whenever you want. Download the CBS Sports app in the Watch tab. We're always right there. You cannot miss it. Let's roll. NBA streaking Rockets. That's where we're going to start things off.
Yeah, we actually want you to be on your phone. Watch us on your phone, your tablet, anything, and watch James Harden go to town on the Denver Nuggets. Houston going for its 12th straight victory. Harden on fire at the end of the first quarter. 14 points in the final 3 minutes of the quarter. He had 27 in the first half. Just over 2 minutes to go. 6-point game. The tip in from Nikola Jokic. He had 21 and 14 to go along with 8 assists. 6-point game, final minute. Oh my gosh. Step back and step on their throats. Harden scores 41.
We don't call traveling anymore. That never happens.
On James Harden, you kidding me? Never. Rockets win it 119-114. That is 12 in a row now, and this is a bit unusual. During this streak, they haven't had many close games at all. This was the closest win during this 12-game winning streak, which started nearly a month ago. CP3 added 23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Harden's ninth 40-point performance of the season as we take you beyond the box score. 35th game for the Rockets where they've hit 15 or more three-pointers. The Spurs had lost 4 straight coming into this. No word on Kawhi. They still don't have him. We still don't know if he's going to be back at all this season. What kind of statement, though, did they make yesterday by going into Cleveland and sweeping them for the season series?
It's the statement that they make year after year after year. Like, it doesn't really matter who's there. They're going to be a solid basketball team. They're coached well. They're fundamentally sound. They do a great job with their player development.
You know, I was talking about it with our colleague Matt Norlander on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. I don't remember ever picking against Duke at home, ever. Like, I know they've lost home games before. It happens sometimes, but it is so rare, and they're always very, very good, if not great.
Jason, are the Patriots looking at drafting their quarterback of the future this year?
Well, they've been doing it for a few years now. It's just that the guys they've drafted aren't on the roster anymore.
You know, some of these guys say, hey, look, if you go to Cleveland, I'm all in for the rebuild. I want to be a part of that. You were actually part of that as a quarterback, first-round pick. What's that like as a quarterback?
I think the toughest part is typically when you're talking about a rebuild is you're starting from the ground up. So you're not going on a very, very good team. So typically as a quarterback, you're not going to have the protection you'd like. Maybe you don't have the pieces to throw to. You're probably learning a new system.
And for more, we now welcome MLB analyst David Sampson. David, the Nationals are reportedly interested in Jake Arrieta. Where do you think ultimately he ends up?
I think that right now the question is, will Ted Lerner bail out Scott Boras and Arrieta becomes a National? That's really what everyone's waiting for. Will Boras get what Arrieta wants, or will another team really provide maybe a pillow contract? I don't think that'll happen. I think he'll be a National.
Was that disrespectful? I know Wes Johnson got up and he laughed. Would you have been disrespected if that was you?
Well, it all depends on the mentality of two different players. Of an all-star player, hey, yes, I would be felt disrespected. I felt like that I would have to get him back. If it's something that if it was a play that I would get back to him in a game, or the next time we compete against him. But the way, if you looked at Wesley Johnson, sometimes when you're that role guy and you're looked at as a defender, sometimes you got to shake your head.
Time now for your news in 90. Lamar Jackson won a Heisman Trophy as a quarterback, but could his future be at wide receiver? NFL Network reported this morning that several teams want to see Jackson work out at the combine at quarterback and wide receiver. No word from Jackson's camp whether he would accommodate those requests. Michael Bennett drew a $3 million roster bonus on March 18th. The question is whether the Seahawks will move him by then. ESPN reporting that Seattle is shopping the defensive end who started all 16 games last season for the Seahawks, recorded 8.5 sacks. Major league hitters slugged a record 1.26 home runs per game last season, and 2 researchers from 538.com found that the core of the baseball were less dense than those used before the All-Star break in 2015. Comes out to a difference of a half gram, so it's only one factor in the power surge, combined with things like lower and tighter seams. Former Stanford quarterback Keller Christ is heading to Tennessee as a graduate transfer. Christ started 23 games for the Cardinal over the last 3 seasons before being displaced as starter KJ Costello. And the Mountain West Conference is considering expansion. The league's commissioner said that Gonzaga is a prime candidate. The Zags have been a member of the West Coast Conference since 1979, reached the Final Four for the first time last season. BYU, also a member of the WCC, interested in rejoining the Mountain West in basketball if Gonzaga is on board. That was your News in 90.